Yeah, what's up, guys? Hey, Adam McDaniel with JeepRecyclers.com. So, quick question from a customer that came in, so I figured I'd shoot it for everybody in case they might have the same issue. All right. Essentially, the issue is that, let's see, the speedometer is not registering speed. However, the odometer is registering miles. Okay, so again, the speedometer is not registering speed, but the odometer is registering miles. Okay, so no matter what, I always like to quickly go back to the basics. Always make sure that your speedo cable is actually spinning, right? Pull it out. If you can have somebody on the other end, hook it up to a drill so you don't have to pull the whole thing out, and just make sure that thing's rotating inside of its sheath itself. So A. B, check to make sure that your worm gear inside the speedo hasn't popped off. So the odometer and the speedometer share the same input shaft. So it's basically a singular system. So there's not two different systems working within here. So basically, if your speedo cable is running in, as it's rotating, your worm gear inside is turning, and that's what is making your odometer miles increase. And at the same time, your speedo is also moving on that. So if your speedo is not moving, I have a couple thoughts. So first, there's a little bell. Well, first, the way that your speedo works is there's a small magnet that is at the bottom of the bell of the bottom of the speedo needle itself. And as that magnet rotates, the bell that's over top of the magnet basically starts to follow it, okay? And from there, you start to get your rotation on front. Now, if there's a separation between that magnet and that bell, like say the bell's frozen somehow, you gotta look at what's causing that bell from not moving. Okay, so there's a couple different parts that go into that, and it would make this video much longer to get into that. But look to see what's going on with that bell. Sometimes that bell is broken. Sometimes that bell is frozen in place and just doesn't want to move. Sometimes a little lube will kind of help loosen that up and things will start moving again. I do not believe it's the hairspring. So typically the hairspring, so if the hairspring goes bad, the hairspring returns it back to zero. So as it's rotating and it comes up, your hairspring is what basically brings it back to zero right there. There's a couple of different parts within this system here that might throw that off as well, but not register at all. So there's a couple things here, but basically the first thing is to look at the magnet that's coming in and the bell that's going over top of the magnet. Look there first. Okay, so if there's some kind of disconnect or what have you, then that's probably where it's happening at. Word of caution. All right, so if you do end up pulling your speedo out and you're inside the gut, so to speak, of your speedo, that is a very fragile system. So if you pick it up by the bell, you'll see what I'm talking about when you're in there. But if you pick it up by the bell, if you move it by the bell, anything, you can bend that little needle, and that's a whole world of brain exploding that you don't want to deal with. So that's it. All right, so hopefully get more info from the customer, and we'll make another one. All right, thanks again for watching.